Hello, it's the Sinister Gambino here with a new video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Grand Theft Auto Online, the Diamond Casino heist information that we got. Kind of Wednesday's information and then yesterday's information as well. I'll mainly be talking about that part. So, the first 25 seconds is basically just me showing off the teasers on there, of course, on screen, of course. So starting off with the top left of the image, of course we can see there's like rappelling. Now I'm pretty positive none of the like heists currently in the game have utilized the rappelling feature. I think you can rappel out the sides in certain like helicopters and stuff like that. I don't know if that's kind of like a last gen only thing or if it's in current gen as well. But I recall there being certain helicopters where there's some way where you can like rappel on the side. But it's nice to see they're bringing that to a heist, of course. According to the image, that is. And then, of course, there's gold for the bottom left. So it already seems to have some similarities to like the Bureau raid with the rappelling, and then yeah, there's going to be like gold in the safe, it seems, like with the big score, how you had to steal, of course, the gold. And of course we'll get to the middle probably near the end. But yeah, the top right over here we can see someone drilling, of course, with like a group sex outfit. That's probably going to be like one of the special outfits that we'll probably be wearing throughout the heist, whether it's the actual heist itself or a setup or both even. So that's definitely pretty nice. Hopefully the drilling's not as annoying as the Fleeca Job. I feel like for the first heist, the drilling was kind of not so like easy. Now that I do it though, now that I've drilled in that like setup though, I'm pretty used to that. But still, sounds like you'll be able to practice stuff like that though, which I'll get into later. And then the bottom right here, there's a interesting like green vehicle on there. I don't know if it's a new one with this update or if it's one from before. But regardless, that's definitely pretty interesting. Looking at that vehicle though, I really hope there's a lot more like interesting vehicles with this update. With the last update, there was only like the one interesting vehicle which you get by completing all the casino story missions, which was nice of course because it made it free. But still, I think it could have used more like interesting vehicles for the last update. So I'm definitely excited to see what kind of cool vehicles they'll release for this one, if there's any sort of like weaponized ones, that is. And then going into the middle of the image, of course, first of all, please bring back like the functionality of like the heavy utility vests. I don't know why they randomly took that out for the Doomsday Heists. I believe only the regular heist like slow down your movement by half and then like increase your bullet protection. But if you can use player saved outfits on a lot of them, I would really like them to bring that functionality back. They probably just didn't want people doing good with like the criminal mastermind challenge and whatnot. But yeah, I can't tell if any like guns are new on that image in the middle, by the way. I think one appears on like the top left as well. Yeah, I think every single heist update, of course, has had some kind of weapon, whether they were Mark II weapons or regular weapons, of course. So I would definitely hope they would at least have like one weapon. In fact, I would like them to release another 6 Mark II weapons. I don't really think you can have a heist DLC much without a weapon. I don't know if that's just my personal opinion, but oh well. And then finally, there's a Bugstar outfit, which kind of gives similarities to the first heist of the game, the evangelical jewelry from the single player, which is definitely quite nice. I wonder how the Bugstar stuff would play in, and if like the BZ gas could return for this heist. But anyways, I'll be going on to the next clip. Onto the actual newswire itself, I found like a single thing interesting for the second and third paragraphs. I basically summed up the first paragraph in the first 25 seconds where I showed off like the teaser stuff. But yeah, starting off, of course, like I mentioned earlier, the DLC is coming December 12th. So it's definitely quite interesting that they're releasing it like the day before the Red Dead Online DLC. I never thought I would see them release back-to-back DLCs. That's just insane in my opinion. But yeah, at least this one's coming out on a day where like the tunables actually update. I don't know why Red Dead Online's is randomly coming out on Friday. Though, like I've explained on that one, they've done like random DLC days for GTA Online before, so it's not the most surprising thing for Red Dead Online, that is. But yeah, and at the way end of the third paragraph, it mentions something about exacting revenge on the Duggan family. So for those who didn't play the casino story missions for some reason, and of course for those who have, I'll try not to go in like the whole thing of details for like the whole entire story. But basically at the end you kill like some Avery Duggans or something. It might have been some different Duggan. Basically there was one of the people of the Duggan family you had to kill at like La Fuente Blanca or something like that. And then once you like end off that last casino story mission, it like has an ending cutscene at the casino where like one of the other people of the Duggan family, I guess somehow the like killing of that other person, and I guess the triads or whatever might have fled or something like that from what I remember. Something about that I guess caused like one of the Duggan people to be able to become the owner of the casino. I don't know if he bought it or what, or I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember too well if he actually bought it. But yeah, one of the Duggans ended up becoming the owner of it. And then it went to other things like Vincent becoming fired. So I wonder if that means that Vincent could have some kind of thing to do with the heist. It would be kind of cool to see the return of Vincent, though. Me personally, I didn't really care that he got fired. That might just be me, because other people really cared that Vincent got fired on the story. Don't entirely know why. But yeah, must have something to do with the fact that the one Duggan ended up becoming the owner of the casino for why this heist is even happening. But at the same time, it confuses me. Like, we own like a penthouse in the thing, as long as you own a penthouse, of course. And then, yeah, you have like your own garage in it as well and whatnot that you can get. So how would the heist work if you like reside in the casino? I'm not entirely sure how exactly that kind of thing would happen. Like, yeah, it sounds like there's a whole new property relating to setting up this business, but still, I still really don't understand it. And also, I wonder if you would have to have played the story missions of the previous DLC to even do this heist, because it wouldn't make the most sense, in my opinion, if the game lets you do the heist without doing the casino story missions first. But yeah. Anyways, I'll be going on to the fourth paragraph here. So it says you'll work with the Cheng family to infiltrate the casino, of course. And again, I wonder how exactly that's going to work, because as I showed in one of the teaser things, it showed like a Lester hacking like video. Like, of course, it can't really have a heist without Lester, of course. Not all that much. Well, I guess you can, because there have been ones without Lester, but for the most part, Lester has had some sort of involvement. He basically taught you how to, like, do the heist. But how would it work, though, if Lester has involvement in the, like, Cheng family as well? Because in the third way, of course, you had to kill, like, the uncle of, like, Tao Cheng or whatever. And apparently he ended up being an optional kill. That's the only way to, like, story would make sense anymore. Yeah, the timeline was already pretty fucked as it is, especially with the last DLC we got, but honestly, it feels like it's going to be fucked up even more with this DLC. Like, this timeline's, like, going all over the place. But yeah, I'm really curious how they would end up off if like Lester and the Cheng family would like work together. I don't know how that would work though, because he was kind of involved with the killing of the uncle. So I don't know if Lester would even work with the Cheng family. I don't know. It's very interesting in my opinion how that kind of thing's gonna work. But yeah, they also talk about like a range of opportunities for setups and prep missions that shape a plan of attack and then multiple paths of approach. So will we finally get an online heist with multiple approaches? That would be pretty nice, because that's something that's really been missing out in the last 8 heists. All 5 of the original ones and then Act 1 through 3 of the Doomsday Heists. They they all only had like one way to do everything, which I don't entirely understand. You would think like Rockstar would value like what really made the single player heists very good. I get it, the online's not as capable as the single player, yeah, I'm sure. From like a technological standpoint of what they can like do and stuff like that. But I really don't understand why exactly they haven't done the multiple approach thing before. But according to the sounds of it on the newswire, it sounds like they're going to do that kind of thing. And then, in turn, whatever approach you choose will probably determine the setups and the free mode prep missions, if I'm understanding how that, like, the newswire words it and whatnot. And then, it also mentions something about a constantly changing thing of security measures. Now, don't be tricked by that. I think they kind of did that in Act 3 of the Doomsday Heist. When you hack, like, the servers or whatever, it has, like, a range of, like, 10 to 15 different, like, difficulties or something like that, from what I've heard. Regardless of the number, there is a different, like, thing of difficulty that you can have on, like, each of the servers, and it kind of randomizes each time after you fail, or whether you pass in and do another Act 3 of the Doomsday Heist or something like that. So yeah, it's probably just going to vastly expand upon that. So the server dynamic in Act 3 of Doomsday Heist was already pretty dynamic enough, but it seems there's going to be more dynamics in terms of like security when it comes to part of the heist, of course. But yeah. There's also a dizzying array of choices apparently once inside. So even when you're in the active point of like the finale, even the finales will differ like every time it seems. That just seems insane, quite honestly. But yeah, now I'm gonna look for more, of course, in that paragraph. But yeah, literally, it seems like there's going to be multiple choices mid-mission as well, because in my opinion, it's been pretty linear for the last 8 heists, like I mentioned before. So that's definitely going to be pretty big. I'm worried, though, that it might not be enough, though, to make the heists all that worth doing, aside for one time or for the money. I don't know if people are actually going to want to do it for, like, the gameplay experience multiple times. Feel it's like they're gonna try to make it a lot more of a like alive like heist, because for people who've done like all the other ones multiple times, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like all burnt out on those and whatnot. But yeah, you can literally shoot your way out with remaining team lives as well. I wonder why exactly they mentioned it like that though, with your remaining team lives. Because most people are probably just going to do it on hard difficulty, and if it's anything like the hard difficulty of the normal and Doomsday Heist, you don't really get any lives to spare. So I wonder how exactly that kind of thing would work. And then they end off on that one paragraph saying it will be highly replayable with new scenarios unfolding each time. Definitely going to be very excited to see the different like dynamics of a heist, of course, when the update comes out, and that would make it unique enough every single time. Yeah, on to the next paragraph, of course. Crew leaders will set up a unexpected commercial venture in a retro arcade business property. So I wonder where exactly those could be. Can't think of much places in the map that would make for a very good property with that description. But yeah, it also shrouds the nerve center where the heist operations are staged and rehearsed. And then similar to like the moonshining shack that's going to be coming out, there's like an above ground and an underground, which is quite nice. But yeah, it seems the above ground is the business itself, whereas for the moonshining shack, it's kind of below. That's interesting. There's an actual like business that runs above. I don't necessarily know if it's a new one or if it's going to be similar to like the nightclub one though, as I'll get into later, of course. But yeah, down below you can apparently practice hacking keypads or cracking vault doors. So that probably gives a couple of the different ideas for how the security is going to differ. Like I said, with like the Act 3 stuff, they can have like 10 to 15 different like difficulties for them. I believe is how the Act 3 and the like servers work for that. But yeah. And then you can store equipment in getaway vehicles. Now with the getaway vehicles, I wonder if that's gonna be like determinant on like the setup and like the approach and whatnot. Or if it can be as in-depth as like the single player where you can like steal like vehicles off the street if you want as well. Like yeah, those aren't gonna be nearly as varied because it's a lot like day one vehicles, but still that would be an interesting way to do it if it's kind of like the single player. And then owners of existing businesses, of course, can add a master control terminal to handle all current operations. So it sounds almost exactly like the nightclub property where you were able to have a front for like all your businesses. However, the interesting thing is there hasn't been a business since the nightclub, so how exactly would they do that and make it different enough is my question. Wonder if it could be like an active version of like the passive business that the nightclub has that consolidates most of the businesses. And speaking of me saying most businesses, I would really like them to implement import-export in some kind of way. That's something that was really missed out upon with the nightclub update, not having any sort of like support for the import-export side of things. And then as well, I think either the CEO crates or the hangar, one of those as well, I don't believe were really utilized. Yeah, I think one of those didn't get featured with the nightclub. The cargo and shipments is either based on CEO crates or hangar, so whichever one wasn't that, I don't think that was really implemented either. So there's a couple businesses that they didn't really touch with the nightclub. I think that they could definitely do this time around, especially import-export. That would be a great thing. Being able to have like a combination of all the businesses from the nightclub plus import-export and plus CEO or hangar, whichever one wasn't used with the nightclub from what I recall. But yeah, that's basically it for the second to last paragraph. And then it says stay tuned for more details on the Diamond Casino. Heist launches on December 12th. So sadly it seems this is actually our last thing of details. Not sure on the Reddit Online update, it kinda sounded like more details are like up in the air for that. But yeah. Diamond Casino Heist, apparently it doesn't sound like it's going to get more details in terms of this update until it launches on December 12th, sadly. So that's unfortunately going to be it for the DLC information beforehand, for a heist of all things, which is kind of worrying though, in a sense I guess. But yeah, that's finally going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed.